18, Justice for Tyrone West and all victims of police brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
Yes, thank you, Queen. Yes, thank you guys for tuning in, and I apologize. We were supposed to be boots on the ground out on Greenmount tonight, but because of the air quality with the latest fire and all that, I don't want nobody to get sick. So just tune in and watch the video that we play every week, and we will be back to you. Unfortunately, we don't have like no special guests, but my sister is in queue with us. My sister Angela, Timothy Fleming's sister. She's in queue with us, and we probably have other, few more West Wansley Coalition members. So just hold tight, and we'll be right back. Thank you. Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop. Won't stop. Till killer cops are in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following newly released video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No.
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz. In a newly released video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, ABDUL SALAAM, July 1st, 2013. Here SALAAM is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly, picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog-tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to Daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, I said, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah, let me get it.
The profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
Do me a favor, take out your keys.
Yeah, you can record me. For what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call a supervisor? I'm about to do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are 2 law-abiding citizens that we are getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardez Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 or 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they could never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
Mic check. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Thank you, Rachel, for broadcasting tonight. And I'm just a little disturbed, as I always be watching that video, because the simple fact that we're coming up on 10 years, 10 years, and we still don't have accountability. And in 10 years, we did do a lot, but we didn't do anything if those killer cops aren't in a cell block. So just trying to figure that out, and it's just really sad. We're in really sad times, but it's not going to stop us from fighting for our loved ones. It makes us fight even harder, and it's just sad. And tonight, before I bring on my sister, I just wanted to pretty much touch on, like, people nowadays, like with all these murders that happen, but I really feel like people nowadays don't show empathy, sympathy. We laugh on Facebook, we joke about it, and it's just sad. Like, if it was your loved one, no matter what, because I thought about the latest thing where with the submarine and the five men lost their life, and everybody's joking about it. It wouldn't be funny if it was your father or your brother or your uncle. It's sad. And the internet just throws me because it's just sickening. It has no remorse. And it's just sad. This is what we came upon with all this new technology, pure ignorance. You know, it's just sad. And I just really don't know what to say. But no further ado, I'm going to bring on my sister, my beautiful warrior queen sister, Angela. And glad she's here with us tonight. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic
Hey,
check.
sis. How y'all
Hey.
doing?
All right. How are you?
Girl, I'm tired, but I'm here. Like you said, you know, this everything in the world right now is just sickening. I'm just trying to figure out, how are we getting smoke from Canada and North Carolina? This is crazy.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out how the world rotating right now. Like, what's really going on? Because we're under weather advisory as well, here in North Carolina, for the smoke. And you know, and the killings, they're not going to stop. Like I keep saying, this is the new modern day lynching. I've been away for a while. I'm a little all over the place because I'm a little tired right now. But I've been away, you know, because you know my uncle's been sick, and I've been trying to get my mental health in order. So you know, on Wednesdays, that's my day to go and get my mental health in order. And you know, you may see me on Facebook sometimes doing things, and that's a mental health thing as well. Trying to get my mental health in order because I'm trying to get back to living. It seemed like I stopped living. That's the point I'm trying to get to, is that you know, we don't want to stop living with our family members when they go. I don't, you know, I want to live, you know, and fight at the same time. And it seemed like I stopped living, and I was very robotic. That's what it seemed like. I was just robotic. I was just doing things, not enjoying it, just doing it. Like, really taking it in and enjoying life. I'm at a point now, you know, 53 years old. You know, I need to start enjoying life. Well, I'm looking at my uncle. He had a stroke recently, so he's been in a state of confusion, and it's real bad. I went to see him today. Today wasn't my scheduled day to go, but I'm glad I went. Something just in my spirit just said, "Hey, go see your uncle," and you know I did. And it's funny because it's like whenever he see me, he associates cooking. So he always wants me to get him something so he can cook. And he know that he can't get up, and he can't. Well, he doesn't know that he can't get up and cook. He just knows that he can do whatever he wants. Now, I keep And Uncle Clarence, you can't do this right now. And you're not, he's not even at home. He's in a rehabilitation center. So, it hurts to see him this way. So that's why I had to get my mental together. My brother was murdered by the police, still fighting this, fighting this fight. Don't think just because, you guys haven't seen me that, I'm gone, because I'm not. I'm not gone. I'm still here. Trust and believe I'm still here. And I will be back real soon, sooner than you think. So don't worry, I'll be back. They'll start seeing my face again, and you all will start seeing my face again too, Tawanda. But this world right now is just so crazy. There are so many things going on. I think they said that the ocean is where is it at, that this ocean and the water is get ready to start create a flood somewhere. So you got fire on one side, you got the flooding on the other side, and nobody is talking about the elephant in the room, which is God is trying to tell us something. That's my perspective on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm right there
That's
with
why
you.
I'm trying to live,
Yes,
because
and enjoy it.
there's a lot that's just going on around us. Not just the police killing us. There's a lot of other things that's going on around us that that keep trying to cover up from us, like this submarine thing. There's something else going on out here. We really don't know what it is right now, but it's going to come out. They always trying to put these smoke and mirrors in front of us. They're always trying to divert our attention to something else when there's something bigger. Like Trump is getting ready to be president again. How about that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
the bigger picture. So while they're distracting us with all this other stuff, there are these other things in the world that's really going on that we really need to be focusing on, like police brutality. Police brutality is one of the biggest crimes that's happening in the world right now. And I'm just going to say it's a crime, because they're getting away with it. It's legalized crime. They're just getting away with killing us. And
Exactly.
it's like, when is it going to end? It will never. All we have to do, all we can do is just to continue to fight. And like you said, it's going on 10 years since Tyrone West murder. They know it was a murder. They know this. So why haven't they prosecuted anyone yet? Why hasn't any of these killer cops been prosecuted? Why aren't these killer cops in jail? Why are these killer cops still on the job?
Exactly.
It's a bigger question. Why are they still on the job?
Exactly.
And it's just shameful. I read somewhere that the state of Maryland is not a state; it's a cult. Okay.
Wow.
And I believe
like you really summed it up.
It's a cult. Okay. It's a cult. Baltimore City, that's a cult. Yeah. The state of Maryland, because they all in cahoots together. It's like they don't want to prosecute anybody. But I'm consistent that we're gonna keep fighting, and that we're gonna get some type of accountability soon. 10 years is too long. One day is too long. 24 hours is too long. And again, I don't want to just keep sound like I'm rambling and going on and on, but this has got to stop. This has got to stop. Cell blocks for killer cops. Mic check.
Mike, sorry guys about my door, but definitely mic check. And you said a lot, sis. Definitely cell blocks for killer cops, and it's just so much in the world that's happening right now. We can't keep up with it, and the stuff that we're seeing right before our eyes, you can't make it up. Like you said, with the wildfires that are actually making people feel sick, because it's almost like when they announce it, I literally start getting migraines. I feel fatigue. It's like they're putting something in the air. Like, I hate to be one of those people that always theorize. And yes, but it's just like, it is what it is. You think we like, yeah, and it's like, you think we kind of managing COVID and can like kind of remove our masks a little bit somewhat, and then now with something else, this is like, really, like, at what point will it stop? Like, it's way too much. So it's like, I really don't know what to say, but it's definitely a lot going on. But the fact that every time something happens, it's like people like don't have no morals, no respect for themselves. They say things that are heartbreaking. Because my thing is, no matter what, at the end of the day, we all have loved ones. We all have loved ones that sometimes, unfortunately, does things that we don't approve of at all. But why, if someone loved one is mourning, why make a joke and keep posting stuff over Facebook? Over and over again. It's disgusting. It really is. It's heartbreaking. It's just so sad. So I'm just like,
So insensitive, like you said,
yeah,
attention to them.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's heartbreaking. And this is like all the jokes you see. It's just like, really, what if that was your loved one that was murdered or died in whatever type of fashion or form, whether they was right or wrong? Like, how would you feel? Would you condone that? No, you wouldn't. You would feel some
Nope.
type of way. And this is like said with the latest thing that I don't even want to touch because it's so sensitive with the man that lost his life and the woman that was attacked with, her child murdered someone. Right now, that baby's going to need help,
Yeah.
but everybody's joking and laughing. They're joking, even laughing about the victim that lost his life. That's still someone loved one at the end of the day. It's still someone loved one, whether it was wrong or right. That's still someone loved one. Would you want somebody talking about your loved one? No, you wouldn't. It's just sad and disgusting. And it's just like our babies. The part that makes me the most concerned is because we have the younger generation, our babies that's watching this stuff and thinking it's cool to do and say anything and just be like with no integrity, no respect. And it's not cool. It's not cool. I remember, where a whole village would raise a child type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Where so if you got caught doing something wrong, the person around the corner could check you and send you back home with no problem. And all that's gone now. Like
Mm-hmm.
people scared to say stuff to children because you never know somebody going. And it's sad. I feel like, sis, the saddest part for me is we can't do anything in this black body with enjoyment without anything breaking loose. You can't go to the hot dog stand, get a hot dog. You can't even sit in church. You
That is
can't go to the park. You can't even be in your bedroom.
that
It's
is
like
true.
what, like where in the world is safe? I'm trying to find that safe space. That way, if I could find that safe space for shelter, me and my family would be out. But it's nowhere. Like you can't go to school. It's just like constantly your brain is on autopilot.
No.
Just constantly thinking, worrying, thinking, worrying, thinking, worrying, and it's just sad and disgusting. It's just sad and disgusting. And when we're in times now that literally you can gun somebody down from the back. And I'm only saying this because we say stuff about when a cop murders someone and they shoot them from the back as they're running. And we say, oh no, that was wrong, because it is wrong. But
Right.
then when they let this latest crime happen, nobody gets charged type of thing. Remember, we saying it's cool to be shot in the back. And it's not.
It's
It's
not.
not cool for no one to be shot. But I don't care if you're in the heat of the moment, whatever. It's not right if someone is running away from you to gun them down from the back. That's my opinion. I'll play the devil's advocate. I don't care who say something about me. Don't like it. Oh
It's
well, say it about your mama.
it's straight
Because I
murder.
don't care. This is not West Wednesday. This is Tawanda Jones. Like, because it's not right. Because, like I said, if I stand up there and advocate and say that we don't want our children, our loved ones being gunned down by these killer cops because they play this type of game, they set the stage. So the stage has been set now. So now that they start gunning us down even more, they already do. This nothing new. This not nothing they're gonna start. They've been doing it, but now they're gonna be waiting for that same thing to be like, oh, no, no
Mm-hmm.
one should be murdered. No one, let's be clear, no one deserves to be brutally murdered. Not even those animals that murdered my brother. And I can't stand none of them. And I want them all in the cell blocks, but I wish death on no one. That's just me. That's
That's
just
right.
me.
That's right, sis.
Yeah. So, but it's good hearing your voice, and definitely can't wait to see you like in person. Because like I said, there's a lot going on, and I'm just glad to hear you. And like you said, I'm to the point. I started like maybe a month ago almost. I said I'm gonna start enjoying my life because, like you said, it's like you living, but you dead. Like you always fighting for what's right. You always doing something for somebody. You the
Mm-hmm.
person that everybody call on, but you're not having on joy. I'm not doing that no more. I'm now learning in a position how to say no, and then not feeling bad if I don't have something. Me, if I don't have something, I'll still try to get it for somebody.
Can
But
I
that's
tell you
just me. But
something?
if I don't have it, I can't do it.
No is an anointed word. Okay, remember,
Mm,
no is an anointed word. Okay,
mm,
remember that. So it's
mm,
okay to say no.
mm. But
And I
it
have
just
a hard
bothers me, like when I be put in that position, because I hate to tell anyone, no, that's just me. That's how I've always been. But at the same time, that's not enjoying life. Enjoying life is
when you
being
self
around.
for someone
Yeah.
else. No, that's not.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then also enjoying life. It doesn't matter. Seeing a lot of things we let people that's in our family, we let people that say they love us hurt us in such a
Oh,
horrible way. They be the
mhm.
main ones that hurt us. Like we wouldn't give a stranger that type of authority or power in our life, but we'll give a family member or a friend that we had for many years, or
Not doing
that's
that
like a sister or brother. They the ones that hurt you the most. I'm done with that. I'm not doing
that
that no more. I'm done.
done.
I'm done. Like, you don't want to love me the right way. Bye bye.
Exactly.
Like, I ain't need no hard feelings. We just can't. I want to see you eat, but we ain't gonna eat at the same table. Like, no. Mm-mm. Like,
We
absolutely
dealt
not.
this fight that we shouldn't have to keep fighting, throughout our
Mm-hmm.
life, like every day for simple things.
Simple things, respect, simple
Hmm.
thing. The crazy part, like people have this so-called attitude that when they go through something, the whole world got to stop, cater into them. They could be disrespectful, use you as a stepping stool, all of that, cuss you out, make you feel horrible. And they know how to hurt you. They got the tools because they have our heart and they know how to hurt us. And that is sad. And they will hurt us. They will say things and act like that they got tomorrow to make it back up. No, I'm not nobody punching bag. I'm not nobody punching bag. I don't want that in my life. I don't want it. I don't want it. That's what being blocked out my life is for. Like, I'm sorry, like I have to love people that I love from a distance, because when it ties into me and you think that you could just bully me into whatever and just get mad and throw a tantrum and cuss me out no, I'm not accepting
Mental
it.
health. That's all
Unacceptable.
the mental
No.
health.
Mm-mm.
People manipulate. They try to
Mhm.
manipulate. It's all about that mental health. That's why I had to
Mhm.
step
Mhm.
away and get my mental health in check and get myself in order, because I know me. It
Mhm.
don't take a lot to get me,
Mhm.
to that point. So
Yeah.
I had
Because
to check
after a
a little
while.
girl today, at
Mhm.
the rehab center that my uncle was at, because
Mhm.
it was just simple as, you know, well, we're putting him on a t-shirt so he won't pull his perma cap out, because he pulled it
Mhm.
out
Mhm.
on his left side, no, on his right side,
Mhm.
over a week ago, and he almost died.
Oh
So
my
we put a
God.
t-shirt on him to keep it covered. They put a
Mhm.
nightgown on him.
Mhm.
And the girl was like, well, we've been putting a nightgown on it, and he had it out. I said, whoa. I said, I haven't been here since Sunday. I
Mhm.
said, the last thing I know, we've been putting a t-shirt over him so that he
Mhm.
won't be able to pull it out. So
Mhm.
I saw the little girl outside, because I had to go outside. When I saw her
Mhm.
outside, I said, listen, I'm non-confrontational. And I
Mhm.
wanted to say until I need to be, but I didn't.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
said, because we have to leave my uncle there. We need their help. But
Mhm.
you need to learn how to speak to people as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Her defense was, well, this is how I am. I don't know you.
Mhm.
I don't know you. So
Wow.
how am I supposed to know that this is how you are?
Mhm.
You're being a bit of maybe 20. I'm
Mhm.
52 years old. I was ready to
Wow.
slap some respect into her ass, because I'm old enough to be
Mhm.
her mother.
Mhm.
And that's the
Mhm.
problem with these kids today. They want to talk to
Mhm.
you like you're
Mhm.
nobody.
Mhm.
I'm a whole grown woman.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
come to you with respect, because when she told me that, they been putting her down, I said, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I said, but we've been putting a t-shirt on them,
Mhm.
but she still wanted to be aggressive. No, we
Mhm.
don't have to be that way.
Mhm.
You need to learn how to tone that down. And if somebody
Mhm.
would teach her this, then she probably wouldn't be that way. And then nobody will be ready to slap her in her face.
Right. Like I said, it's just sad times because people, and the sad things is if somebody love you, love checks each other. You get what I'm saying? So if you see your loved one, your friend, your brother, your mother, whoever, out of pocket, it's our job to check them.
Yeah,
And if you roll with it, what you're doing is co-signing.
yeah.
And then they got this mentality, oh, I'm just like that. That's just how I am. No, that's not cool. That's
Nope.
not cool. So it's cool for you to be nasty and mean and
Right.
disrespectful, but then soon as somebody you meet and everybody meet their match, soon as you meet your match, then now it's a problem. No.
Yeah.
Totally unacceptable. But that's why I said it goes back to that village. Like we could be a village just with our loved ones. If you see somebody out of pocket, I don't care who they are, in a nice, roundabout, respectful way, you need to check them. Because guess what? Unfortunately, if we don't check them, these streets are going to check them. And they don't care. These streets will eat you up alive. Talk about you like a dog on Facebook, laugh at you, make jokes about you getting murdered, all that. That's what
Yeah.
these streets do. These streets are cold hearted, okay? Cold hearted. But if we check our loved ones, like and this is sad the stuff that people do. If you see somebody wilding out in public, just imagine how they are behind closed doors.
Exactly.
Just imagine. Like you
Exactly.
feel so comfortable to do whatever, yell, scream, fight, be aggressive, whatever, outside around a bunch of witnesses. Imagine where there's no one that when that door closed and you behind closed doors with somebody.
And all I was
It's
thinking is like,
unacceptable.
I got to leave my uncle here with this girl acting like this. I mean, like, is
Mm-hmm.
she for real right now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
So imagine how nasty she gets with your uncle who is
Or with
at a state that he
the other
can't help
people that,
himself.
yeah, with the other residents in there that don't have family members to come and check.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing for me. Like, imagine that. Just imagine for 1 second that and it's saying you have people that play on vulnerable people, our babies, children, and even us as family members that care about them. They just think, oh, I can talk to them nasty, I could be mean, but they're gonna always love me. She got a good heart. No,
No.
no, unacceptable. Unacceptable. So yeah, I just feel like, and I'm glad we having this conversation tonight because a lot of us, and not only do we need to check other people, we need to check ourselves because at the end of the day, but I feel like a lot of people don't have conscious minds nowadays. Because when I do anything that I feel like I'm out of pocket or whatever, I feel so bad. I
Hmm.
feel so bad. Like, but people don't feel bad about what they did.
Right, because the
I
first thing
feel
I
so
did was
bad.
apologize because I didn't know they was putting them on the gown. So I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know." But she
Mm-hmm.
still attitude. I'm like, "Whoa,
Mm-hmm.
okay, no,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're gonna
I
have a
think that's
conversation."
what's up to 'em.
So yeah,
Yeah.
people
That's
just crazy. I'm
mm-hmm.
trying to check myself, like you said, because like I said, I know how I am. I can go
Mm-hmm.
0 to 10 real quick,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've been trying to get my mental together because yeah, I've been having some anger issues and
Mm-hmm. And
um
I'm glad you said that because right now it's not even us that can go. Everybody is going from 0 to 10 real
mm,
quick. Because at the same like right now, what the world is showing me, like back in the day, you would have one issue that maybe you're dealing with, and then you can, get your mental together and deal with it. And it's over. Right now, everybody's dealing with so much at one time. It's a big explosion. And then when you got this attitude or chip on your shoulder because you hurting, you got pain, then you come right and to contact with somebody else that got hurt and pain about what they going through, and then y'all start talking and it's off, then that's where somebody get killed or hurt.
yeah,
And it's sad. It's horrible. Nobody's turning the other cheek. Nobody's being a peacemaker. And the saddest part for me is when you see grown people not even intervening when they see something not right. But it's sad because they be scared because nowadays, I guess they say bullets don't have a name and people ready to kill everybody. But I still could not stand around and watch foolishness and not intervene
and
and in a respectful, calm way.
yeah,
I can't do it.
yeah,
I just can't. I just can't. It's sad. We have some real sad times, but again, we just got to remember when you need a break, take that break. Sometimes you might need to call out. Sometimes you might need to just walk away, even though, and it's sad because we're in the times where you can't even afford to take a break. You got to pay your bills,
yeah.
Comcast or BG&E or your mortgage or the person your landlord's not trying to hear.
Gotta
I
get
don't
some
have that
work.
rent money, but you have to sometimes push that to the side. Trust the high being, trust God, trust whatever you believe in, and take care of yourself because you can't take care of yourself. Guess what? You can't take care of nobody. You can't. That's just the grim reality.
Yeah, that's
So, but I'm glad since you made me happy tonight that you said excuse me, that you started taking care of yourself, and I'm loving it because I see you take care of everybody. Even when you down, even when you going through financial crisis, you gonna make sure everybody's okay. That's
Yeah.
just you know, the godly woman in you, the blessing in you, or whatever. Like just the beautiful part in you, your soul.
I
But everybody don't have that kind of soul.
I am truly my mother's child.
And that's what I say. Everything I'm doing, this is what Shirley did. This is what my
Yeah,
mother
truly my
put in
bride.
me. And that's why my children are the same way. Like,
Yeah.
feel like they got to take care of the whole world. Yeah. So, and then like today, I'm supposed to be real joyous and happy. I can't believe my baby turned 17. Like,
No,
how
happy
she
birthday,
7? Yeah.
TT.
Like, how is she 17 and I'm only 21?
I know,
I
right?
don't understand that they making me extra old, but I'm always and forever be 21. So when my birthday come next month, don't ask me how old I am. I am 21. Got that?
21.
Forever 21. Yeah, but it's sad because as much as I be wanting to enjoy it, all I keep saying was I wish my brother was here to watch it. What would he, he was crazy about his little niece. You know what I mean? He was crazy about his children, and for me, like even watching his youngest son go through different trials and tribulations, and from his older daughter to his oldest son, like all his kids go through things, and I can't do what I want to do for them. I
That's
can't be
you
there, Dad. It's heartbreaking. They
yeah,
need
you
their
feel like
father here.
you
It's
feel
sad,
like
man.
you can do. And I get it. Trust me, you
Hmm.
know I get it. 'Cause
Hmm.
yeah, I get it. My
Hmm.
nephews and my niece, yeah, they go through so
Hmm.
much. And if my
Hmm.
brother was here, I know they wouldn't be going through what they're going through.
Exactly. They would not be going through half of it. The way people treating them now, they would be scared to treat them some type of way. Like I get so mad sometimes when I talk to my niece and she tell me somebody got loud with her. I'm like, oh no, hell no.
Right.
Because they ain't no way in the world, dude or whoever would have said anything to you if your father was here.
That part.
You
Yes.
know? Yeah. So it's just sad. Like, but I guess, like you said, it's just all about living at this point and enjoying every moment and try not to let the bad outweigh the good. Because once you do that and go into darkness, guess what? Something's
It's
bad
hard.
bound to happen.
It's hard to come out of that dark
And
hole.
it's hard. It's definitely hard. Yep.
Really
It's
hard.
definitely hard to come out. Yeah. So real quick, sis, I want to check in and see if anybody else is in queue that want to say nothing. I don't know if Nicole's in queue. I don't know who's in queue. I want to check in and see if anybody else want to add to the conversation before we start, seeing if somebody can read the comments and questions that I see on the board. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Nicole is not here right now. We have Brian, if Brian wants to add anything.
Okay. Hey, brother Brian, you want to add anything to the conversation? Because I know you always here, unfortunately, for the sad list, but just
Yeah.
wanted to see if you wanted to add anything to this conversation.
Nah, I think I'm feeling good about myself today. You can hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yes, here you go.
Okay. I just wanted to do a little mic check. No, I agree so much that we got to pay attention to keeping ourselves healthy and keeping each other, checked and making sure that we're doing this work in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So I got really nothing to add to what you guys been going through, and so I'll just step back and do my list when the time comes. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And Sister Queen Rachel, would you like to add anything to the conversation?
No, just that I agree 100% with this conversation that you've both been having so far. I can definitely read the comments if you'd like.
Oh, sure. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. All right, so Judah, Hillary, and Bruce all say mic check. Bruce says, good evening, all. Gretchen says mic check as well. Bruce says, internet can be a source of both great knowledge and ignorance. Judah says, good for you, Angela, for truly prioritizing your mental health with joy and peace, or wishing you joy and peace. Hillary says, as Tawanda so often says, live to love and love to live, even in this craziness, sending love to all joining West Wednesday. Judah says, you're right, Angela. Firing killer cops is the least they can do. Hillary says, that's right, Tawanda. No one deserves to be murdered. Violence teaches violence. Being peaceful, doing self-care, and maintaining boundaries is just what our children need us to model for them. And Smiley Forever 66 says we collectively are at a point that we really got to be each other's keeper and protector. And those are our comments.
Mic check.
Mic check. Thank you so much, Rachel, for that. And thank you, everybody. Hey, how you guys doing? Thank you guys for commenting, tuning in. Yeah, so just thank you guys so much. And right now, I'm trying to figure out because I have my beautiful sister Dina right here with me. Um, and I wanted to flip my phone so that way I flip the camera, but I don't even see a button. So I'm going to kind of play with this. I'm going to turn the camera off for a minute. And Angela, if you could say a few more words to our listeners that are positive, definitely would appreciate it. I'm going to turn my camera off for like not even 2 minutes, but just to try to figure this out.
Okay. All right. I just want to send love, light, and peace to everybody out there tonight. That's going through anything right now as far as any mental health, stress, just dealing with life, day to day life. And as far as the police brutality, we're just going to keep fighting this fight. It's been over 2 years now since my brother Timothy Fleming was murdered by 2 Baltimore City police officers. And we're still waiting on a whole lot of different things. My family is just still waiting for the state to finish their little investigation that they're doing with the case. And I've also been dealing with some other stuff with my sister, but that's another story. Praying that she gets better and keep her health and strength up as well. I see my sister is back, so I'm gonna do a mic check.
Thank you, Mike Check. Thank you so much, sis, for those kind words. So this is the time I'm really missing Uncle Bill because he probably like, hey, Tawanda, just hit this button and da 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 da. But I don't have time to
I
navigate
don't know
that.
if you
So
can actually flip the camera. Well, I don't.
yeah, I don't see that like option on here. I just see the one camera that once I hit it, either turn on and
I
off,
don't think you can
and
flip it.
that's it.
I don't think you can flip it. You had to
Yeah, but
run.
I'll just focus it in on my
Yeah.
sister. So if we don't have any more questions or comments, before she reads our discouragement clause to pretty much because we feel for everyone and we don't and my biggest fear is like offending someone. So if you need to take a break to move away from your gadget, if you're watching this on Facebook, Instagram, or wherever, this is the time you might want to turn your phone off because unfortunately tonight we have a very long list because the list that we get, I believe it's from the Washington Post, and it hasn't been updated in weeks. So we got like maybe 32 names and whatnot, 31 names. So that's really sad. And then we're gonna have our brother Brian that's gonna come in and read the names from our Baltimore, community violence list. But at the end of the day, no one deserves to be brutally murdered. Our heart goes out, and we don't know everything surrounding any of this, but we do know that someone family member is hurting right now, and our hearts go out. So I just want to before we read this, I want to take 1 minute. We're going to start now. Just if you pray, say a prayer. If not, if you want to send positive energy, please do that. But just remember, this could easily be your loved one. The time now is 7:41. We'll be back at maybe 7:42, 7:43. Thank you. Mic check.
Mic check.
7:43 because it just turned to 7:42. So 7:43, we'll be back. Mic check. Thank you guys so much. The time now is 7:43. So thank you guys again. So I'm going to turn the camera towards my sister Adina.
Because you should be able to change the settings, the camera with the settings button. Do you see the settings button by the
Yeah,
camera
but
button?
when I did it, it cut me off the last time. So maybe I'll figure it out later. But yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, sis.
Mm-hmm.
Mic check.
Mic check.
It is the mission of the West Coalition to work for accountability for Tyrone West and all victims of police brutality. We believe there is a connection between police brutality and community violence. Police can use de-escalation strategies to diffuse situations without necessarily using force, and we encourage community members to resolve disputes without violence. We care deeply about those families impacted by police brutality and community violence. We seek to lift up the names of their loved ones from a place of respect and care. We obtain lists of names of those shot and killed by police and those lost to community violence from national and local news outlets. We know that these are by no means exhaustive lists and that gun violence isn't the only way that people are murdered. We do not obtain detailed information about the circumstances surrounding each of these deaths or people who died. By reading these names, we are not condoning violent behavior on the part of anyone involved in the situation. And now I'm going to read the national list. It runs from May 30th through June 24th, which is 26 days, and that we know of, 31 lives were taken. If you could just, say back the name, and then in the case where a person is unidentified, we say cell blocks for killer cops, Ashe. Okay, so on May 30th in Sparks, Nevada, 29-year-old Dylan Wilson.
Dylan Wilson.
Again, on May 30th in Vancouver, Washington, an unidentified person.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
On May 31st, in Russell County, Alabama, 47-year-old Daniel William Mooneyham.
Daniel
William.
Mooneyham.
Also on May 31st in Spartanburg, South Carolina, 55-year-old Terrence Galt.
Terrence
Galt.
On June 1st, Blue Island, Illinois, another identified person.
Cell
blocks for killer cops.
Okay, then the next date is June 4th in Eldersburg, Maryland, 52-year-old Jack Cimino Jr. And this was a mental health call that they were responding to. Jack Cimino Jr.
Jack Cimino Jr.
Jack Cimino Jr.
Okay, on June 6th in Ogden, Utah, 36-year-old Brian Simonton.
Brian Simonton.
Okay, and also on the 6th in Metairie, Louisiana, an 18-year-old unarmed in a vehicle, Calvin Keynes III.
Calvin Keynes III.
On June 7th, in Denver, Colorado, 35-year-old Nicholas Lendrum.
Nicholas Lendrum.
On June 9th, in Lee County, Alabama, 58-year-old Lucius Benjamin Gibbs.
Lucius Benjamin Gibbs.
On June 10th, in Georgetown Township, Michigan, 28-year-old, but is unidentified.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
On June 11th, in Cape Coral, Florida, 73, Roland Henry Hale. I think it's Hale. I'm sorry. It's Halle. So Hale. Roland Henry Hale. On June 12th, Columbia, South Carolina, 40-year-old Antonio Worthy.
Antonio Worthy.
On June 13th,
another one in Ogden, Utah. I just read one for the 6th. So 7 days later in the same city, 23-year-old Alex Chase Lopez.
Alex
Chase
Lopez.
On June 17th, Juniata County, Pennsylvania, 38-year-old Brandon Stein.
Brandon Stein.
Also on the 17th, Caldwell, Texas, an unidentified 15-year-old boy.
Oh, gosh. Cell blocks for killer cops.
Also on the 17th in Darrell, Florida, an unidentified male was killed in their apartment. Cell blocks for killer cops.
For killer cops. Ashe.
June 18th, Pineville, Louisiana, 59-year-old Augusta Moore.
Augusta Moore.
Also on the 18th in Bishopville, South Carolina, 27-year-old Marquise Griffin.
Marquise Griffin.
Also on the 18th, McCormick County, South Carolina, Abed Barba.
Abed Barba.
On June 19th, in Louisville, Kentucky, 21-year-old Mark Jaggers Jr.
Mark Jaggers Jr.
Also on the 19th in Fairhaven, Vermont, 38-year-old Kenneth Barber Jr.
Kenneth Barber Jr.
On June 20th, in Avon Park, Florida, 31-year-old Matthew Dillon Owens.
Matthew Dillon Owens.
Also on the 20th, in Opp, Alabama, 45-year-old Cornelius Ball.
Cornelius Ball.
On June 21st, in Sheffield, Iowa, 30-year-old Matt Davis.
Matt Davis.
Matt Davis.
On June 22nd, in San Francisco, California, a 37-year-old unidentified male. Cell blocks for killer cops. Also on the 22nd, in Greensboro, North Carolina, 51-year-old Graham Thomas Roberson.
Graham Thomas Roberson.
On June 23rd, Freestone County, Texas, another unidentified person.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Okay, and also on the 23rd in San Antonio, Texas, this 46-year-old female was killed in her apartment during a mental health call crisis. Melissa Perez.
Melissa Perez.
On June 24th, in Weirton, West Virginia, 82, Carl Gist.
Carl Gist.
And last but not least, Henderson, Nevada, 53-year-old Stephen Brucker.
Stephen Brucker.
Thank you.
Mic check. Thank you so much, Sister Queen. And that is just heartbreaking. But next up, unfortunately, and I just hope we get to a point where we have no sad list, but our brother Brian, mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. This week, we do have a sad list, beginning with 26-year-old Alvaro Santana.
Alvaro Santana.
William Thaddeus Spady, 53.
William Thaddeus Spady.
Jerome Utley, 60 years old.
Jerome Utley.
Lowell Freeman, 33.
Lowell Freeman.
And there are 2 more victims who haven't been named, and I will just try to bring their names forward next week. Thank you.
Thank you. And peace and closure to that family. So sorry. Yeah. So again, I just want to thank everybody tonight for tuning in, being a part of West Wednesday, and just being a part of the conversation. I want to give a shout out to Rachel, who always takes the task on, and just the whole West Coalition that all to, the different tasks. Just thank you guys so much. I want to thank my sister ADIENA for reading that long, heartbreaking list. And I want to thank my sister Angela, who is actually going through something all the time, and she always be there, always is here. Thank you. And just thank you, Brother Brian. Thank each and every last one of us. Thank you just for all your love, respect. And as we brought you guys in, unfortunately, with that heartbreaking video, and it's very traumatizing because we watch it week after week, still no accountability, still no type of justice. It's just sad. But my biggest prayer is by the time we get in a couple more weeks, like less than 2 weeks or whatever, that something breaks and folds, or it's just sad, but it's almost like wishing on a star. But just praying not only that my family gets accountability, I'm praying for my sister Angela, Timothy Fleming's family. I'm praying for everybody's family. I'm praying for people that are on a sad list. Like, no one deserves to be brutally murdered, whether it's by the hands of law enforcement officers that's supposed to serve and protect, or it's by your neighbor, your friend, your lover, your spouse, whoever. No one, a stranger, whoever. No one deserves to be brutally murdered. And I just want to live in a world where we just live out to our last days and just die of natural causes type of thing. But again, remember, live to love, love to live. I love you all. Please stay tuned to watch this video, and see you guys next West Wednesday. Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life, and Mr. SALAAM begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, ADIENA BRITT and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is ADIENA BRITT, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why would you
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges, like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the Gun Trace Task Force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, when will Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the SALAAM vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the Officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working and working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, ABDUL SALAAM, and my sister ADIENA and her family. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.